I spent my whole damn life in the city. I could go for broke, but the capital is in me. I spent my whole damn life in the city. Anywhere I go, DC's coming with me. I spent my whole damn life in the city. I could go for broke, but the capital is in me. I spent my whole damn life in the city. Anywhere I go, DC's coming with me. I spent my whole damn life in the city. I could go for broke, but the capital is in me.
Welcome, everyone, to District Divided DC Sports Podcast, more specifically a Washington Commanders podcast. I am Amit, that is K-Dot, and this is Shades Monday. We are back. The Washington Commanders, whenever they win, we rock the shades. That's simple. A 20-17 victory over the New England Patriots on the road in a game that we had to have to keep the season alive from the playoff perspective, and also... Yeah, I see you there laughing, K-Dot, but also important just after making two big trades at the trade deadline, losing Chase Young, losing Montez Sweat, but getting some draft picks in return. So once again, it was a 20-17 victory. And K-Dot, I want to begin with the performance of Sam Howell. He did have an atrocious end of half interception in the red zone, goes right to Kyle Duggar. You go, oh gosh, what's going to happen? And then Sam Howell responds in the second half and has a really nice day. 29-45, 325 yards, one touchdown, a pick. What did you make of his performance?
We have a guy. I think that every week, even with look, all these quarterbacks are going to go through periods where you scratch your head and like, what the fuck, right? Like right now we're recording on Sunday night, and we're watching one guy who's the king of it in Josh Allen, right? So like there's an element of, well, you know, never mind. Even Josh Allen, you can't even blame development anymore. That's just who he is. But you still take the good with the bad, right? And at the end of the day, he's going to do more good than bad. Sam Howell's still very much in his development. I mean, if you look at him, he starts the one game last year, only gets that start because Taylor Heineke says give him the start. And then he gets this offseason, and the offseason in the NFL compared to offseason in the past, you don't get to work anywhere near as hard as you used to be able to. And now you have this season coming around, and he's done a whole hell of a lot more good than bad. I know that they still sacked him 3 times in this particular game, but overall, we're not averaging 5 or 6 sacks a game, right? So like there's an element of the team itself, which we'll get into more in the coaching itself, that's kind of progressed as it's going. But that's the other element is you have Sam Howell, new guy, new offense that he's learning, because even the offense that he knew last year is not the offense that's there this year. There's just a development process, but there is so much good stuff you see on the film with him that it's like, it's worthwhile continuing to see, because I don't think any of us quite know exactly where his ceiling is, but the floor is better than anything we've had in the city in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even when we talked about this team at the beginning of this season, what one of the main objectives was, maybe the main objective, do we have a guy? Do we have a guy at quarterback? And it seems more and more like the answer is yes. I know you and I are both high on him, and so I think it's important that we note that as well. But he's been playing very, very well. He also had the 24-yard scramble on 3rd and 23. I mean, incredible play. Broke a tackle, spins around it, ends up getting the first down, and multiple throws on 3rd and long that he just dropped in a bucket perfectly. I mean, even somewhere I audibly, I'm just like, oh, like it was incredible to watch Sam in this game today, and made that continue. You got the Seahawks, of course, coming up. But Kate, you had alluded to the coaching. A lot's been made of the coaching. You and I have talked a lot about the coaching. What did you think about the coaching in this game?
I still have my same criticism for almost all the coaches. Ron Rivera, you know how I feel. Jack Del Rio, you know how I feel. This New England team is not good. They beat a good Buffalo team, but once again, Josh Allen had a pick and a fumble in that game. And the Buffalo's always up and down, right? And then they beat the New York Jets. Jets have a good defense. Their offense was coming off the heels of the Aaron Rodgers injury. They just weren't that great. So this Patriots team's not that good. So at the end of the day, if you're looking at the defense area, did they stop them in certain game? Yeah, but then they were also missing their 2 starting wide receivers. It's just, I'm not really looking at anything and saying, oh, bravo, great job, Jack Del Rio. I've changed my opinion on you. I think this game is going to teach us a lot. I mean, I thought that we were going to win this game. But if I'm looking at anyone that I'm going to give any kudos to, Eric Bieniemy. I think that this was one of his best overall called games I've seen him have here with this entire season. I'm a huge critic of the run game. I saw a lot more not in shotgun Sam under center runs, something I've been calling for dramatically. I've seen a lot more screen passes this game than I ever saw before. Some were unsuccessful. It's a new thing because we don't do it enough. But like Terry McLaurin catching the ball on the screen, that's a rarity for us, right? Like, but they're trying to get their dynamic players involved as early as possible. And they're also keeping with that quick passing game for Sam Howell to keep him in rhythm. So that when he is taking those shots down the field, if there's one thing about Sam, more than maybe any other thing, is that he's fucking fearless. He does not give a shit. And he'll spread the ball around. He's got no favorites as far as spreading the ball around. Also, I don't know if you give it to coaching or decision-making, Jamison Crowder looks like a guy again. He looked a solid contributor on offense. I just think overall, the offensive attack, they stuck with it. Brian Robinson, I think 18 carries. Antonio Gibson didn't have a lot of carries, but he was getting involved in the passing game and everything. That's the way you have to go about it. Yes, was it smooth the entire day? No. But these are new things that they have to keep installing and getting better at, especially as the season progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to mention Brian Robinson, 18 carries, 63 yards, a touchdown. 18 carries is a lot. It's great to see that number. And of course, when you're winning, down the stretch, you're going to run a little bit more, of course, but there seemed to be an initial commitment to the run game, which was nice to see. Antonio Gibson, 6 carries, 34 yards. And then mentioning Sam Howell and not playing favorites, we have 8 targets for Jahan Dotson, 7 for Terry McLaurin, 6 to Logan Thomas, 6 to the aforementioned Jamison Crowder, 5 to Antonio Gibson, 4 to Byron Pringle and De'Ami Brown. Shout out Byron Pringle, by the way, a couple big catches over there. So that is very even distribution across the board, like you said. So really nice to see. And then on the defensive side, yes, the New England Patriots were missing 2. They're starting 2 wide receivers. But here's the thing. You still got to play them. You still got to make plays. And I want to shout out Quad Martin for making that play at the very end to seal the game because he's been the second round pick that just has not played at all. And people are like, oh, he's already a bust. Right? Just because he's not even seeing the field. Well, how about a game-sealing interception for him? How about 48 snaps for Emmanuel Forbes and multiple pass breakups? It's great to see rookie contributions on this team, and especially on this defense that has been much maligned so far. What did you make of the defensive performance?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the defense, in a year of evaluating, in a year of trying to get better, it is important from a confidence standpoint that you have the rookies have these moments, good moments that they can build off of, right? So I'm glad Quan Martin got some playing time finally and made an impactful play, the most impactful play for the end of the game. He sealed the game.
It could have been KJ Henry with a really nice sack, but apparently it's rough in the passer.
Officiating has been shit across the league.
That was a horrible call.
It's been really, really rough. And I know that the league meetings have been telling them to emphasize certain things emphasize certain things. It's just overall, they need to go back to the drawing board, whatever it is they're training with these refs this year. I hate to be a super critical guy of officiating, but I've just seen it game in and game out. Our games, other games, they do such a terrible. It slows the game down to nothing. It seems like there are more conversation between the refs than I've ever seen before. And there's a lot of we're going to change something on the field, then we're going to change it back. The body weight landing on the quarterback thing has always been kind of dumb. I think when you see it being done egregiously, when it's not. And I don't understand why they can't.
I mean, this was textbook. This was a national storm for about 10 minutes. The moment the play happened and the moment it was called roughing the passer, because it wasn't just a sack, it was a fumble.
Right.
That it looked like we recovered. So the moment that happened, Twitter went nuts. And it wasn't just local media. It was national media. It was fans everywhere. Like, how on earth is this? Some people were even saying it's the worst call they've seen in years. So NFL officiating certainly needs to figure it out, because I don't want to be doing a podcast where we are talking about the referees at the very end of a game. Imagine if that was at the very end. It's the fourth quarter. We're up 3, and that's the call after that kind of play. So it needs to get sorted out. Certainly.
Then I don't know if it was, but I don't know. Listening to Twitter, I didn't watch the post game. they're saying that like the call was made from New York. Like this is a New York decision on this particular. If that is the case,
no. So
wasn't that-
Adrian Hill, one of the referees, made the call himself, and he
Okay.
explained it after.
Okay.
And so I mean, it was a BS explanation, but he explained it nonetheless. But anyway, that is that side of the ball. Moving forward, we've got the Seattle Seahawks coming up, right? And that is going to be another road game, but an opportunity to get to 500. So in that game, we're obviously going to do a full-on preview episode, K-Dot, but like early reaction to that game. What are you looking forward to seeing? Yeah.
Look, man, it's like I said, this season to me, the further we go along and the shit that I can't put everything I saw behind me that I've seen so far this season. And if we're going with the trend that usually happens in the Ron Rivera era, this is the moment we start winning some games. We're right in the thick of it as far as like potentially the 7th seed for the playoffs. Like we're right in this thing. And even if we do, unless we're going far into the playoffs, I still feel the exact same way about this team in the sense of the current regime. So wins or losses, I'll pick them. Wins or loss, we'll do the episodes. I'll do my research. I'll try to figure out who it is I think will win any given point in week. The only thing I'm looking for is continuing progress with Sam Howell, Eric Bieniemy getting more comfortable with his guys and how to put him in the best situations, and hopefully Jack Del Rio screwing the pooch so he gets his ass fired. Like that's it. That's pretty much all I'm looking for the rest of this year. Yeah, I want to be excited about these dudes going into next year. Like that's where I'm at. I was talking on the phone with somebody. I was talking to Brendan, who's been on the podcast. I was talking to him day before yesterday, and I was like, I'm so excited for next year. And he's like, what? I was like, I've kind of punted on this season. I'm so excited for next $90-something million in cap space, with more cap space probably coming along. We got multiple draft picks after getting rid of Chase and Montez. New ownership trying to put tens of $millions of dollars into the stadium and all that. I'm excited for next year. Like that's where I'm looking for things this year to make me even more excited for next year. That's where I'm at. Like if we go on this stellar run, if Sam Howell's throwing fucking 5 touchdowns a game and it's like, yo, all bets are off, we are a Super Bowl contender. Cool. I'll cross that bridge when we fucking get to it. But right now, this feels like the exact same playbook year in and year out. We're reaching this time of year where we all start getting a little excited. If you just remember where everybody was about a week ago, ready to fucking burn the building down. And now they get the win against the lowly New England Patriots because they got the big name Bill Belichick there.
Right.
Start feeling just.
By the way, fun fact, saw it on Twitter as well. I can't remember who exactly tweeted it, but Ron Rivera against Bill Belichick, 3-0.
Yep.
In his career.
That means a ton.
Wow. I know. This team's insane. This team's insane. This league's insane. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. We're gonna skip the comment mailbag because there's just the one comment blood clot. We will read that on the next episode. This was District Divided DC Sports Podcast, more specifically a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening and enjoying Shades Monday with us. We thoroughly appreciate it. Again, the Commanders win 20-17 on the road against the New England Patriots. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. And K-Dot,
share this shit.
Share this shit. We greatly appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week, Friday, 2 p.m. for the preview episode against the Seattle Seahawks. Until then,
win.
Take it easy.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.